Good morning to everyone, and welcome to First Atlantic Commerce live show, where we cover all things e-commerce in the Caribbean. Our guests join us from all over the world and generously share their expertise and their knowledge and insight into the digital world and how we operate within it. I'm your host, Eldred Garcia, the SVP of Business and Partnership Development at FAC. And if you're joining us from LinkedIn, thank you. Don't forget to like us and follow our page to continue seeing content that will help you grow your online business. Today, we're talking about how to get started with social commerce. Today, I'm joined by Manolo Álvarez, the Chief Growth Officer at Reach. Manolo specializes in driving expansion, innovation, and scalable solutions for businesses worldwide. Welcome, Manolo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Eldred. Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here and just talk about some social commerce with all of you and see how your companies can start engaging in this new rapidly growing trend.
Excellent. All right. I know everyone's excited for today's show, but before we jump into questions, we have a quick demo for you. We'll be right back.
Share with you what the new tools that are coming out can do for social commerce, both in Latin America and the Caribbean. So today we're going to take a tour of a new platform called Reach, whose purpose is to provide merchants or people who are selling online a new tool that can basically help you handle all your social media conversations and actually take payments from inside the conversations, all powered by AI, right? And so you guys can get a sense of where we're at. On the left, we have an Instagram page, right? And on the right, we have Reach, right? The tool that you guys as merchants are going to be using. So let's suppose that I'm browsing Instagram, right? And I find this page and I really like it. So I decide to message them, right? I could message them directly or via an app. I would like to know if you guys have any sofas in stock, right? I want to furnish my living room or something. So the person will write to the company, and your company will receive the chat here on the right. I know that Manolo Álvarez has just written to me via Instagram, and the platform will allow you guys to receive communication from all of Meta's platforms, including Messenger, where we have here this sample. And it'll also work with WhatsApp. We'll be looking at WhatsApp a little bit later on. So I get the message and I'll go and say to them, yes, we do have sofas in stock. So what usually happens at this stage is that people will either send a picture of the sofa or have the customer go to the website where they clearly don't want to be because they're chatting to us via Instagram, right? Reach will allow you to sync your product catalog, and this will be the same as the catalog you already have. You don't actually need to have like a Shopify or Wix or WooCommerce, but you can actually just link it to your Meta catalog, and that'll work just fine. But for this example, we're syncing to a Shopify catalog. So I'll go to Home and Garden, and this is synced to my e-commerce website. And I'll send this one to chat, and I'll send this one to chat, right? So with just 2 clicks, I was able to just send the sofas. And now I'll ask them, do you like any of them? The customer is going to tell us, yeah, I like the first one. So what I'll do now is I'm going to ask them if they want to buy. The person's going to come here and tell us, yeah, send me a payment link. What's really cool here is that I can handle the payment link without going to any external site, create a payment order, right? And click on it. And I'm just going to fill the data that I need here. So we're going to do the FAC01, right? It already knows my billing information and NIT number. my tax number here in Guatemala, because it has already linked me to my Instagram account. So I'm gonna choose the payment method. We're gonna use FAC's PowerTrans payment gateway here. So I'm gonna go and do 1Q, which is our local currency here in Guatemala. The platform's totally multi-currency, but in this case, I'm just gonna charge myself in Qs in Guatemala. I'm just gonna add a small description here so I don't lose track of the order. So I'm gonna go here and say yellow sofa, and I'm gonna send the summary. So it automatically sent the summary to the customer, and it says your order number 3138 for 1Q yellow sofa is on its way. So I'm gonna ask them to confirm. Yes, please send link, right? If only selling Word is easy, right? But it makes for a cool demo. So I'll now here just confirm the order and send it, right? So, you know, with very little clicks, I've been able to share my product catalog and actually send a payment link to my customer without me ever leaving the chat, right? And as you can see now, we have this orange nice icon here accompanying my chat, which indicates that this is no longer a traditional chat, right? This is a chat that has a payment waiting to be made. At any time, you guys can go over here to orders and you can check, like earlier this morning, I already sold a yellow sofa and it got paid, right? But I still have this one pending to be paid, right? We can at any time see our already paid orders. We can see our pending orders. I'm just gonna go back here to our conversation, right, with Manolo. We'll go to this payment page. This payment page is fully customizable. So whenever you guys are using Reach, you can do promotions here. So you can add your logo or whatever feels right for you guys. So I'm just gonna go out and fill my data here so I can get charged. What we're gonna see here is really, really cool. Because guys, but here in Central America, whenever you pay, you have to like send a screenshot of your payment so the merchant knows that you paid. So I'm just gonna click pay here, and you're gonna see what happens. Since we're fully integrated with FAC's payment gateway chart, you'll see what happens on Reach here on the right. If you remember that we had the orange icon here, it's now green, right? It turned green automatically. If we go back here to the left to the Instagram page, you can see that the customer already received his order total of 1Q has been paid successfully. He gets his transaction number. You can see that they got their electronic payment voucher automatically. So that's basically, in a nutshell, how Reach can help you guys work your social commerce and really streamline your process. But here's another cool thing, right? So I'm gonna click here on this yellow icon here on the chat, and you can see that the customer right now has been having a neutral tone as well as the agent. But let's say it's 3 days later and the package didn't arrive or something went wrong, right? My package never arrived. I cannot believe what you guys did. So now if we go back to Reach here on the right, yeah, we can see that the customer tone has gone negative. So what's actually going on here on the right side of the Reach interface is that the AI is constantly monitoring the conversation, right? So it sees that I am so very angry at you, it recognizes as negative, my package never arrived, right? Reach will always be on your side, letting you know how the conversation's turning out and what you can do about it. So maybe the customer is really angry. So I'm gonna ask the AI to help me. We have a virtual assistant. So I'm gonna ask it to handle a complaint. I want it to be formal and professional. Help me with this complaint. I'm gonna tell it to generate. So Reach now is gonna read the whole conversation to understand what's going on. And it's going to suggest me a message, right? I understand your frustration regarding the delivery of your package. I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience this has caused, right? It is our priority to ensure you receive your order. So you just click here and send it, and Reach handled the complaint for you. So now that we got into AI, I'm now just going to jump into the automated part of the equation, right? So I'm just gonna open up my WhatsApp here. I'm gonna just change my view here on Reach, and I'm gonna go to Kira, who is our virtual AI assistant. This is the part where our bot will actually handle conversations for you. So I'm just gonna go hola, hello in Spanish, and contact the company, right? It starts this new conversation. It shows me the options I have. So I'm gonna go and choose to check my order status. Yeah, you can see the conversation flowing back and forth between the bot and the customer. It asks me for my order number. It shows me a nice picture of where I can find it. I'm just gonna go and send it. So now it's actually gonna go into this company's ERP system via an API and go and get the order status. That's like showing you guys the range that our bots have. Like they can go from something very simple as a welcome menu that'll show you some options and provide information that's really simple, all the way up to what it did now, right? It went all the way to the ERP system and check the order status, so you guys can learn a little bit of Spanish and know that our platform's fully multilingual. The API message it got is in Spanish because that's where we're working here in Central America. But it's telling me that my delivery date is going to be March 19th, right? And it has already shipped. As you can see, Reach can go all the way from helping you consolidate all the social media messagings that you guys have and linking your product catalogs and charging your customers via credit card, all the way up to having an automized bot that can connect to other systems and pull information automatically for you. I hope you guys had a wonderful time getting to know a little bit about Reach. If you have any questions and comments, please reach to us via the available channels. I hope to see you again very soon.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much, Manolo. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and LinkedIn so you don't miss out on any live shows. If you have any questions about social commerce, feel free to comment and we'll try to do our best to answer them today. So let's jump right in. Manolo, why should a Caribbean business consider social commerce as part of their sales strategy?
Yeah, I think that data is actually indicating that that's where their customers already are, right? There's a huge social media and mobile usage in the Caribbean, right? So social commerce becomes the fastest, most natural path to new revenue, especially for small and medium-sized businesses that can find lots of customers looking for them already there, right? And also, I think that the Caribbean missed the internet desktop revolution, let's call it, where a lot of computers got connected to the internet in the late 90s, and that gave birth to e-commerce, right? But that didn't happen a lot in Central America and the Caribbean. So we're experiencing that new revolution of basically everyone jumping online and starting to do their shopping and commerce right now through phones, right? So I think that the trend is stopping to be a trend and it's becoming reality. And there are a lot of people reaching out to brands in social commerce scenarios. And I believe that that's where growth is going to be for medium and small-sized businesses in the Caribbean, Eldred.
Manolo, you're absolutely right. And everybody knows numbers, quantifying what you've mentioned is always important. Just so you have an idea of what this means, 73% of global shoppers were buying something via social commerce last year in 2024, and it's projected to reach, no pun intended, $1.2 trillion in revenue this year, 2025. And $8.5 trillion by 2030. So absolutely there's growth and there's a shift happening in the way we purchase online. So Manolo, question, how does Reach and FAC help businesses streamline their social commerce journey?
I believe that commerces already have begun this journey, and I could bet that a lot of people watching already have a bunch of traffic coming through social media channels, right? And what Reach does is basically organize and centralize those conversations and help businesses handle them better, right? So the traffic is already there, and getting them organized is a great first step, right? And then Reach also integrates directly with FAC payment gateways, which allows these customers to send secure smart payment links, which will allow them to sell, collect, and confirm their payments instantly in a trustworthy manner, right? So it's a question of handling the traffic, organizing it, and having at your disposal in just one place a secure payment gateway which you can use through Reach.
Yeah, absolutely, Manolo. Integrated and embedded payments are key to making the business online function properly. What would you say are the first key steps for a Caribbean business looking to start selling through social platforms?
I think that the first step is just analyzing their current traffic, either if they're running ads or not in social networks, right? And figure out how many conversations they're getting and if what they're missing. And once you go through this step, you'll basically come to a realization that there's a lot of business opportunity that's just not being taken advantage of, right? Then once you do that, you can start centralizing conversations with a tool like Reach. And after you take control of your conversations and you start getting that customer journey just right in order to sell a little bit more, you can set up your payment collection by integrating the FAC payment gateway, right? Once you're able to conduct these conversations and collect money via the FAC payment gateway, you can start organizing your product catalog, so you reduce the time it takes you from question to just providing product information to your customers. And finally, I would recommend that you train your sales team so they can start selling through chat, because as you can probably imagine, it's not the same to sell something face-to-face in a store than doing it via a chat where you cannot even see the other person, right? So it does take a little bit of training to teach your team how to sell chats. There's a lot of information online regarding that, and it's not that difficult. It's just realizing that social commerce sales that take place through chat are asynchronous, and they're not the same as having someone in your store purchasing directly.
Manolo, one of the things that comes to mind is the amount of social media platforms that are out there, right? So which social media platforms are the most effective for social commerce in the Caribbean, and how do businesses choose the right one?
Right. Our data that we have gathered would summarize it in 3 words, right? WhatsApp is king. It's so fast to chat via WhatsApp. It's personal.
Manolo, I think you're having technical difficulties as well.
Messenger is next, and I'm back, right?
Yeah, you're back.
Sorry, guys. So internet flaked out. So WhatsApp is king, fast, personal, and it's everywhere. Secondly, we have Facebook Messenger, and then we have Instagram direct messages, right? But that's the general trend we're seeing amongst hundreds and hundreds of customers. I would definitely recommend to start where your customers talk to you the most and build from there, right? I think that all companies actually do know where their customers at, and they have personalized data. So that's a cool thing about technology and social networks, that you can actually get data very easily, and you can personalize according to your individual situation.
So Manolo, people always want to know, when did this whole revolution, if you will, of the migration of e-commerce start, and has there been a growth trajectory of social commerce? So what has been the growth trajectory of social commerce since the launch, if you will, in 2022?
It's exploded, and it's been ridiculous. especially in emerging markets, because it allows people who previously couldn't like find a store to rent and put the upfront investment into a business to actually get into business, right? So explosion is the word that comes to mind, and people spend more time chatting than browsing websites. So I think that the fact that social commerce allows people to browse stores through chat, which is the channel that they prefer, has basically created that. And let's see, the compound annual growth rate for social commerce revenue worldwide is growing at a 31% rate, right? Let's say 2002, we had $0.7 trillion worldwide in social commerce. Now in 2025, we're projected to hit 1.6 trillion, and we're going to be at $6.2 trillion by 2030, Eldred. So explosion is the word that comes to mind.
Yeah, Manolo, some stats that really stuck out when I was doing some research about this webinar, that 82% of consumers use social media for product research. Wow. That's not really surprising, but 90% of people shop from brands that they follow on social media. So this channel is absolutely changing the way consumers interact and do commerce through online channels. So a question, how does strategic partnerships and the integration of FAC facilitate this rollout of social commerce? Because it seems like two distinct businesses, but the partnership really facilitates that. So how is that done?
Right. I think that handling your customers and selling is one part of the equation, and getting paid and charging customers for products or services rendered is the other part. But in the customer journey, for the people that we serve as companies, it's all just one big process, right? And the fact that you can do all the customer journey from a single platform is very, very powerful, because the commerce knows when it has been paid. The customer knows when their payment went through and how much they got charged. So the partnership allows companies to enjoy a service, a software that permits them to handle the whole customer journey in a single place in an integrated and embedded fashion, right? And the fact that both companies have decided to partner and bring this service to market, I believe that creates a lot of trust, especially when handling money, right? So business moves at the speed of trust, and having both companies, merchants, right, and consumers increase that trust by having that customer service and sales experience tied into their payment process. I believe that makes every single bit of difference in the world.
Absolutely, Manolo, and thank you for that. Today we're talking about how to get started with social commerce. We're going to be taking a short break, but we'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us at First Atlantic Commerce. FAC Live covers all things e-commerce, with guests joining us from all over the world, sharing their knowledge on this digital world that we're all part of. So continuing, Manolo, with some of these important questions, specifically is, what kind of content is driving social commerce success, and what type of content works best?
Yeah, I think that as always, content is the most important part, but I believe that short, real type videos is what mostly is helping companies get more social media engagement and traffic, right? And it's very important to create what I would call educational content, and not so much promotional content to deepen those engagements. And I think that with that, we have some questions from the audience, Eldred, that I think that we could start handling them.
Yeah, having said that, Manolo, we have a couple of questions coming in. Number one, very important question: is this product available in English in the Caribbean, specifically and for Jamaica?
Yes, yes. The product is fully localized to your local country, Jan. So yes, the short answer is yes, and we can adjust time zones for reporting, so you can see in local time when you sold something and stuff. So definitely yes, and Jamaica is a go.
Excellent, excellent. Another great question. We obviously think about e-commerce or social commerce, and we think of products, but we also have services that are offered online. So one of the questions is that are service-based businesses, can this be tailored for this kind of business?
Yes, I think that you can sell services or digital products through Reach. There's something that becomes easier to do with digital products or services. It is that you don't actually have an inventory, right? So you never run out of them. With services, well, you would have to integrate Reach to your scheduling platform, so you can actually keep track of when you are providing
You had a quick freeze there, Manolo.
services. It actually is easier than products because, am I back?
Yep, you are.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's easier to do digital products or services pending any custom integrations that need to be done. But the fact that you don't have to keep track of an inventory makes it a little bit easier.
Excellent, excellent. So this question is coming in from Christiana. I believe she's in Trinidad. And to answer your question, Christiana, directly, and to probably address similar questions, yes, the service is offered in Trinidad. It's offered in all the markets that FAC currently operates in the Caribbean and in Central America. We leverage our e-commerce technology that we've been doing for over 25 years. So the short answer is yes for Trinidad and all of the Caribbean markets. One of the questions that come up a lot is how important or what are the common mistakes Caribbean businesses make when getting started in social commerce?
I think that the most common mistake that we see is that companies treat social commerce like traditional e-commerce, right? And it's that wait and see approach, and hope that someone stumbles upon the website and does their traditional shopping cart and checkout experience, right? But social commerce is, as we talked about, the natural evolution of e-commerce. And it's more of a thing of engaging and taking and seizing the opportunity when you have it over there, right? So just remember that social commerce is not traditional e-commerce, and make the necessary adjustments, right? The other thing that we see a lot happening is that businesses go after using manual payment collections, right? Like probably bank transfers or cash, which actually are still a large part of what we see going on. Yeah, but I think that making the move to automatic payments via credit card is another thing that we're starting to see happen, and that mistake is getting corrected, let's say. The other thing is that they do not track conversations that lead to sales, right? So they don't actually know who is purchasing and what sort of conversations they're having with people that actually buy. And the last thing that we see all the time is that there's no structure on how chat agents are handling the chats. And basically, they keep running their traditional processes of how to do customer interaction. And they have not defined their new structure on their chat centers.
Yeah, Manolo, one thing that you mentioned to me in the past about common mistakes is thinking that every generation uses every single social media platform the same way, and they don't, right? Different generations use different social media platforms in different ways. For instance, this year, millennials are expected to account for 33% of all global social commerce spending. That particular generation uses different social medias than, if you will, Generation Z uses it. So keeping in mind, what if your target audience and not necessarily relying on one social media channel is important to make sure that you cover all your target audience.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that companies need to be aware where their particular customers and their target audience is, so they can go and find them there. And a quick recommendation would do figure out where most of your customers are, implement that social network, get it going, get great results, and then move on to the next one instead of trying to handle all of them at the same time when you're starting.
So we have one more question coming in from Asa. And Asa, Mrs. Jones, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You mentioned that there's a number of apps that you're looking at on the Apple Store. If you reach out to us directly, we'll guide you to the right one and help you get started in that conversation. I really want to get into not just what has been happening and what is happening, but Manolo, what are the trends in social commerce that businesses need to watch out for in the coming year? And this topic for me is super exciting because I'm all things AI.
Yeah. I think that you mentioned the word of the day with AI, and I'm starting to call it AI assisted selling, right? I think that AI is going to help chat agents get a lot more done, and eventually AI will be able to handle some purchasing scenarios by itself. So I think that by the end of the year, we're going to start to see some really autonomous AI assisted selling, and our research and development team is really head over heels on that and working really hard. So that I think is trend number one by a long shot, right? Then the continuing integration of payments and on message platforms, I think it's going to be a trend. We're happy to say that we've pioneered that through this partnership, and I think we're way ahead, and we have already done that. But that integration is going to continue to get tighter and easier, and we're going to have every single day payment methods that become less frictionless, right? More frictionless. And the other thing is we're going to get into customer journeys that are hyper-personalized, and all the data management and smarts that software currently has are going to become evident when we can get to a point as companies when we know what customers want to purchase even before they do, right? And the last thing that I see as a trend is the emergence of full funnel tracking, from ad to purchase to repeat buyer. What that means is that we're going to be able to know what ads are generating more revenue and bringing us more traffic, and actually what ads do lead to a purchase, not just traffic. and from those people who purchase, who become repeat buyers. And that sort of information is going to be available to merchants and companies all throughout Central America and the Caribbean in this coming year, Eldred.
Thank you very much, Manolo. Manolo, just as a recap, social commerce is not necessarily intended to replace e-commerce. It's the evolution of e-commerce, and what we've seen is that folks that are already in e-commerce are looking to add social commerce as a complementary solution or service to grow their business. They have added social media platforms onto their e-commerce, and in order to manage the influx of contacts and customers reaching out, they need a solution or platform that can do that in a way that they can convert those conversations into business. On the flip side, you have small businesses that are not ready to jump into a full e-commerce website solution, don't have the resources to either develop their own website or get into the e-commerce space right away. Social commerce provides them a very easy, quick, low-cost entry into being able to start selling from their home. So solopreneurs, if you will. You can create your own website on social media, whether it's in Instagram, on Facebook, and start being able to sell immediately by yourself. This platform, what it does is it provides the technology for a solopreneur to very easily promote, respond, and complete a sale without taking that customer that you're interacting with and trying to throw them into an e-commerce environment where they don't want to make the purchase. They want to stay in that social commerce space or that social media space. So again, important to understand that one is not to replace the other. They're there to complement, and really targeting the SMEs or the small and medium businesses are trying to get into the e-commerce revolution. This is a very easy, low-cost way of doing this. Important to know that. For more information, obviously, you can reach out to us. We'll get you in contact with Manolo and the social commerce team, so you can actually see the platform working in real time, understand the power of AI and how it can help you sell, not only during regular working hours, but when you go to sleep. AI continues working, because a lot of us wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. The first thing we do is we grab our phones, right? So social media platform is specifically for those kinds of situations. Having said that, we want to thank you very much, Manolo, for joining us today as we discuss how to get started with social commerce. Be sure to follow us on our page to be notified of the next FAC live panel discussion. Thank you again for everybody who joined us, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.